Hello and welcome to the Bellingham Real Estate Podcast. I'm Paul Balzati. I'm here with Molly Visser. Welcome, Molly.
Thank you.
And today we're talking about downsizing and condo living because
Mhm.
that's what you just did. And
I
I,
did.
I, I was curious about it and I thought it'd be a good conversation for the podcast. So just to get going, how long have you been in real estate, Molly?
I'm pushing 8 years in
Nice,
June. Yep.
nice.
Mhm.
So consistently production award winner, do really good business,
Yep.
and so all of that's great. And you were living in Bellingham,
Yes.
and you just recently sold your home in Bellingham and bought a condo on the kind of the marina or the water.
Yes.
And so I want to ask you about that to start. So first off, like talk to us about
Yeah.
that, and then like what prompted you to do that.
Yeah, so it was a quick decision. Two things prompted me.
Yeah.
One is one of my life dreams has been to live on the water and have a boat. And I was presented with this unique situation down in Sandy Point. There, at the very end of Sandy Point, there is this condominium, and the unit on the end was available. And I went out to check it out, and I fell in love. It's perfect because it has a good sized yard for my dogs, but more importantly, it has a ramp and a place to buy a boat or keep a boat.
Yeah.
And so my husband and I thought, this is it, let's do it. Because we both have always wanted a boat, and especially a boat coming right out of your living room, a ramp right out of your living room.
Yeah.
So that was really attractive to us. But the second reason that we decided to downsize and move to a condo is because we wanted to simplify our life. Two of my kids are at the university and two are in high school, and we're kind of always talking about what are we going to do once we're free. And we decided it was smart to trade in the things and the square footage for freedom. And so that's kind of what we did. We traded in our normal size house. I think our house was 2,400 square feet. And we bought that condo, which is 980 square feet. And we just got rid of everything. And so it's given us some freedom to possibly retire early and have some more money in the bank. And we're a little squished, but we think it's a great compromise. Um, so, that is just something we had been thinking about for the longest time, but this process went really fast for us.
Yeah, because I feel, we have clients all the time who kids graduate from high school,
Yep.
and then they're sitting there going, okay, we want to downsize at some point. And then usually, it's, this kind of process where we're meeting with them several times, going through this whole thing. You just like one day I talked to you, you're like, hey, I'm buying a condo.
That's how I roll.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's really how I roll
yeah,
in my life. I drive my husband crazy, but
yeah.
we went out there and like, let's get it. So we got it, and we came home and we gave my four boys the task of taking everything we own and cutting it down to getting rid of 3/4 of it.
Hmm.
So they organized a garage sale, they ran donations, they got on eBay and sold everything, and we just got rid of everything. And it's amazing how much stuff you acquire. Especially just like the kitchen. I had every gadget from air fryers to waffle makers. And I thought to myself when I was going through my kitchen, I'm only going to take the things that do more than two things, like a
Right.
frying pan and a
Yeah.
pot. So I get rid of all those items. I was spending money to store them, really. I was taking
Right.
square footage to store things that I don't use very often. And it is kind of silly because if you think about it, we spend half our life trying to acquire things,
Right.
and then the second half of our life trying to get rid of those things. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm part of this mess,
Yeah.
So it just made sense to simplify.
It kind of reminds me of the whole tiny home movement,
Yeah.
where you see
Yeah.
people getting making tiny homes work. Well, those are even smaller. A lot of those tiny homes are like 500 or 600 square feet.
Yeah.
When you do a condo, that's almost 1,000 square feet, and you have a dock and things like that, and a patio. And I mean, I guess in a tiny home you could have a patio, but
Yeah.
but it's not exactly tiny home level, but it's still kind of the same concept, and that makes a lot of sense. And so you say you have I didn't even realize this. Do you have one or two of your boys still in your home, in your
Yes,
so
yeah. So my twins are going to be seniors next year,
yeah.
and they
Were they excited to move into a condo?
no, they all thought I'm absolutely insane
Yeah.
until they got out there, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, "See how cool it is? It's
Yeah.
really neat." And we made it work. They share a room, and we have this kind of makeshift loft that one of them sleeps in, and they are super excited about the opportunity to try new things like boating and fishing and crabbing, and the beautiful spit that's right around the corner. So. It was hard to convince them, but now they are all really grateful.
Well, you're basically saying it's a lifestyle decision,
Yes.
on instead of working in the yard, making uh, fries and French fries with your air fryer.
I don't get the
Yeah,
fries.
you're not making French fries
Mine have
anymore.
oil.
Yes,
Yeah.
instead you're going out boating
Yeah.
and doing things like that,
That's
like getting out more.
but isn't that life?
Yeah.
Isn't that life? It's a trade-off. It's not that what I had was bad. This is just different.
Hmm.
There's always good and bad with everything. I had a great uh, way of life with a normal size home, and now I'm trying something different. And